Hello children, today we will study 6th chapter of your moral science, that is be honest. Okay, we all know that honesty is the best policy, right? So let's see what is there in this chapter. Everyone works to earn a living. Your parents work, your teachers work, the gardener in your school works, the sweeper in the school works. So see, everyone earns to earn a living in order to live a life, and to eat food, to wear clothes, to live under a roof. We need money, and to earn that money we all work. Your parents work, we teachers work in school, the gardener in a school work, and also on the road when you see the sweepers cleaning the road, they also work. On your way to school, you find people going to work. Work differs. Some people work in offices, some work in the fields, and some sell things in the market. Some work at radio stations and television centers. So children, it's not like we all do the same work. The work differs from person to person. So some people go to office, some of your parents they go to office. Some people work in fields, like farmers and all, they work in fields. Or some people are there who have the field job, like they go from shop to shop, or things like that. They just have a field job. Some sell things in the market, like when vendors are there, they just roam about and they sell things in the market. Or shops are there, when you go to shop to buy things, those people are also working. They are selling things in their shop. Some work at radio stations and some work at the television center. So we see there are numerous different kinds of work that people do. You must follow the dictum, work is worship. The way you do your work is more important than the work itself. So children, work is neither big nor small. Work is work, and whatever work we are doing, we should worship our work, okay? Because work is worship. The way you do your work is more important than the work itself. See, whatever work person is doing, the more important thing is how honest you are in your work. Like your work is to study. It's not like that to show your parents. You just open your book and you pretend to study, and you know that you are not studying. Your mind is somewhere else. That is not honesty. So your work is to study. So when you sit to study, then you should study honestly and not just to show your parents. Okay, so whatever work we are doing, we should do it with full honesty and without any cheating. Some workers devote less time to their work. So there are some workers who are not giving the time that they are supposed to give to their work. So that is cheating. That is not honesty. Vinu works in the field. He has been engaged to work for 8 hours every day, but he works only for 6 hours. At the end of the day, he receives wages for 8 hours of work. Wages means payment, okay, the money that he gets. He cheats his employer for 2 hours of work. Employer means the one who gives work, the boss. Okay, so there was a man whose name was Vinu. He was working in a field, and he was supposed to work 8 hours in a day, and for 8 hours he would get the payment. But what he is doing, he's not honest. He's cheating his boss. He's cheating his employer. He's just working 6 hours. And he's getting the payment of 8 hours. So 2 hours he is cheating from his boss. Some employers give their workers less wages. Not only this way, it is the other way also. Some employers are there who are not honest with their employees. Employees means the one who works for other person. Mr. Chacko hires Mr. Vimal to work in his field. They agree for a payment of 150 rupees for 8 hours of work. So there is Mr. Chacko who hires, who keeps Mr. Vimal to work in his field for 8 hours, and they agreed that he will give 150 rupees for 8 hours. Mr. Vimal works for 8 hours, and Mr. Vimal is an honest man. He works for 8 hours continuously, very honestly. he comes for his wages in the evening, and in the evening when he comes to get his payment, what Mr. Chacko says? Vimal, you did not work hard. Take 130 rupees and go home. Mr. Vimal says, but sir, I worked very hard for 8 hours. Mr. Vimal was very sure because he worked means very hard. He worked honestly for continuous 8 hours, and now his boss is saying that no, you did not work hard, and so I'll cut 20 rupees and you just take 130 rupees and go away. That's not correct. But the employer does not agree. Finally, Mr. Vimal, the worker, had to take 130 rupees only. The employer cheated the worker by 20 rupees. So here the employer is cheating his employee. He has cut 20 rupees, which is not correct because that person, Mr. Vimal worked honestly for 8 hours. Mr. Vimal, the laborer, was working not only for himself but for his whole family. His employer thus cheated Mr. Vimal and his family. So Mr. Vimal is the one who's working hard for his own family. He earns money so that his whole family can run properly. But Mr. Chacko, who is the employer, he has cheated not only Mr. Vimal but his entire family, because the whole family depends upon his earning. The worker must do the job honestly. The employer also must pay the wages honestly. So children, both the employers and the employees must work honestly. The workers must work honestly, and the boss must also give the wages honestly to his workers. So whatever work we are doing, we should be honest with the work, because work is worship. So I hope you have understood the chapter, and we'll do the question answer. I'll give you as a PDF. Thank you.